Anthony DeGrasso here, bringing you financial news you can use. In this video, we're going to go over the state of the current stimulus negotiations as of December 16th, 2020 at noon. And if you like this video, smash that like button down below and subscribe if you like to hear financial news you can use. Okay, let's get right into it. So as we all know, late last night, there were negotiations going on among the four leaders: Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, and Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary. He joined by telephone in Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office suite on Capitol Hill to work out the details. And the last one out the door was at midnight. So right now it's at noon, so it's been about 12 hours since they last spoke. So where are they at today? So that's what we're going to get into. So congressional leaders today, they closed in on an agreement on the coronavirus relief measure that could bring about $900 billion proposal forward. I'm going to go over and break down exactly what's in that $900 billion proposal. I explained in another video, but we're actually going to update it today on that. All right, so right now Congress is racing to complete both the pandemic aid, right? So that's what they're negotiating on, and the catch-all federal spending measure before the government lapses on Friday. So they have to do the spending bill and have an amendment for the coronavirus relief measure. Now, will the plan include the stimulus checks? That's the million-dollar question. And to answer that, yes, maybe, but stay tuned. I will go over that later in the video. All right, so while the details were not yet final, all the details were not yet final, the plan is expected to provide billions of dollars for vaccine distribution, schools, small businesses, but it will probably omit the liability protections that are sought out by the Republicans, and then the government funding that are sought out by the Democrats. So you know how I described yesterday the breakout of the $748 billion plan with $160 billion liability and funding. If you didn't see that video, just click the link above and check that out. All right, so now let's look at today, Wednesday, December 16th at noon, exactly where we stand. So Wednesday morning, in a speech on the Senate floor, man, Mitch McConnell, he was up early today. He was up late last night, early today. That's good. They need to be locked in a room. They haven't spoken for months, all the leaders in a room. And it's basically the time is crunching right now. He said specifically, we committed to continuing these urgent discussions until there's an agreement, and that they made major headway toward hammering out a targeted pandemic relief package that would be able to pass both chambers with bipartisan majorities. How often do we hear McConnell saying, "Hey, we almost got a deal here"? It's like, oh my God, like this is awesome. So I've never really, you never really hear McConnell agree with the Democrats on anything. So that's really good news. Now you wanted to know about stimulus checks, so I'm going to get into that now. So the top two Republicans and Democrats appear to be agreeing on the plan that would include both major round of direct stimulus payments and additional unemployment benefits. So they're talking both unemployment and stimulus at the exact same time. Now, this was according to people familiar with the emerging compromise, but as with everything in Washington, they speak anonymously. So this is anonymity here. So we never know who sources are talking who. It's this source said this source said that. Well, put your name on it. Okay, let's go on. Okay, now it's unclear how large the direct payments would be, though the $2.2 trillion stimulus law that was enacted in March, the CARES Act, I think everybody knows that gave us $1,200 a person. So now progressives and at least one conservative Republican has recently called for the same amount or more to be included in the new round of aid. I've seen $2,000, but the exact amount kind of remains to be seen. Most likely it will be a little bit lower. And how I know this is Senator John Thune of South Dakota, which is the number 2 Republican, he told reporters on Wednesday that the direct payments were likely to be around $600, $700 per person. And also, he added, he thinks there will be $300 for unemployment benefits per week. Okay, so it's probably not going to be the $1,200, most likely, but $600, $7, I'm cool with that. I could use that little chunk of change in my pocket, All right, it's Christmas. We all need some money. All right, but negotiators were also still haggling over the expansion and extension of unemployment benefits and how long they would last. So we'll get into the spreadsheet and everything in a few minutes. But they were also discussing reinstituting the supplemental jobless payments, which were the $600 per week when they lapsed over the summer. So but would likely be revived at a smaller amount. So as I described in my previous videos, the $600 a week is kind of like off to the wayside. It was supposed to be like $300 a week. They don't really know if it's going to be retroactive for unemployment benefits. Are you going to get it back till October, November, December? You know, the details aren't really there yet, but I'm going to bring those to you as they come in. Now, Democrats appeared to have dropped their demand for major new infusion of aid for state and local governments. Some officials familiar with the discussion said privately that there were other avenues to provide some of those funds in the final package. So Democrats are saying, okay, where are the loopholes for us to get money to the states without officially saying we're going to give money to the states? So where can we put this in the bill to help state and local governments out, but still, you know, and still get what we want? Now let's go back to our spreadsheet here, and so I'm going to update this. So most likely, so forget the whole White House thing that was last week. It's kind of dead in the water on this one. This was the initial bipartisan plan, and this was the bipartisan plan breaking out the state and local government funding with breaking out the lawsuit protection. So I updated it here to say, okay, the state stimulus checks, well, it's probably going to be $600 to $1,200. And unemployment benefits, I would love to see $600 a week for the American people that are unemployed. Because to be honest with you, somebody that's currently employed right now getting a $600 to $1,200 check, that's just a bonus, right? I would rather see money going to the unemployment over somebody like us who have jobs. Like, yes, it's great and all. You have a job, you're making your money, and yes, you're going to get an extra check. But the people that are really hurting are these people right here. And I want to see more money being given out to those that are unemployed. So $300 a week plus the state. Let's just use state of Florida as an example, because I live in the state of Florida. It's just great, Sunshine State. You guys are freezing your butts off over there, getting snowed on, but it's actually 60, not too bad today. Okay, so in the state of Florida, we make about $275 a week on unemployment benefits. There will be an extension of that base 275. Even the White House bill right here. You see that 40? That 40 billion is basically the extension of the $275 per week unemployment at the state level. Each state's a little different, and that's just state of Florida. In addition to that, you would have about $300 a week on top of that. So 275 plus 300, $575 per week for the unemployed. Now that doesn't seem like a lot of money compared to the $600 a week. So that'd be like almost $1,000. But that goes a long way with people. Just provide the extra funding, because to be honest with you, as of right now, there's nothing going to be going into 2021. So, all right. So, and the whole details of everything else right here. Now, this might change a little bit right here, but I don't think a lot of this is going to change that much. They might adjust it here and there to get their exact number of the bill they want, because it does change a little bit. For instance, like the White House had 320 for support for small businesses. The initial plan for the bipartisan group was 288, then they moved it to 300. And then in the bipartisan bill over here, they moved, and I don't know why they did that for SNAP benefits. They went from 26 billion to 13 billion. I'm like, that's the last place I would draw money from to reduce my number bill. So, all right, so let's go back here. All right, so let's examine where all this stands of right now. An agreement on both the relief measure and the must-pass legislation, including the dozen spending bills, which is the omnibus package. So if you hear that in the news, the omnibus, I can't even speak today, the omnibus package. So all the spending bills of the federal government, boom, right here. You got the 12 bills. And then they want the coronavirus bill to be an amendment to that. So they want it to piggyback off this funding bill. So if they pass the funding bill, they want to also pass this. That's why they were up late last night till midnight. The second time they were speaking since like 4 or 5 months ago. To be honest with you guys, this should have been done like 7 months ago. I'm just saying, they've had 7 months. So there's no reason they should be midnight arguing over what's the details of the plan. They had 7 months. And that's why I'm angry on Congress and Senate. And you should be too, because they need to get their job done sooner. It's like, oh, okay, I cram for a test. And then I stay up all night the night before, but I should have been preparing the past month for everything. It's just crazy. So as it stands right now, I'm hoping that they provide all the details of the negotiated plan later today, and I will bring that to you live as they come, hot off the press. So right now, it's a little after noon, December 16th, 2020. I want to thank you for joining my video today, and if you like this video, smash that like button down below, hit the bobblehead in the middle of the screen. That's me. Subscribe to the channel. Booyakasha. See you in the next video. Ciao.